Hi there, it's Carl again, just sharing some experience on a topic I've covered before, but I just thought I'd give you a couple of examples. That of whether it's better to have a grafted tree or whether it's better to have a seedling. So what I've got for you here is a little Benny Mako, which is a lovely sort of little tree. And just to show you, on this one I happen to write the date on the back. So, as you can see there in all the, there we go, 17th of May 21. So that's just over 2 years since I bought that tree. What that is it's a, it was bought from a garden centre local to me in the UK for a fiver. It's a very small little plant really, so felt like a bit of a bargain really. Can't go wrong for a fiver, you might say. But in 2 years, it's not doing well. It's rather sad actually. I probably gave it a bit too much sun exposure last year, just a bit, so it's died back a touch, but little bits of signs of new growth there. But really hardly taken off, I'd say. And I think this is the problem. There's nothing wrong with the cultivar, but as a seedling, it's just not performing, probably because that is its sort of own native rootstock. It's growing on its own roots, basically. And they're just not good enough, strong enough to really sustain the tree. Yeah, it looks like it's grafted. It isn't. It's just a rootstock, and you know from the price, you know, going through the trouble of grafting a tree costs money, and people are reluctant to do that. So this one is a little princess. So that one, Japanese lace little princess, £17.50. So, you know, more than 3 times the money. And I happen to remember that this is bought at roughly the same time because we went on holiday to Cornwall. And this was from the rather beautiful Japanese garden in Cornwall. So if you look at that fella, you can clearly see there's a graft point there. It's been, the top part has been grafted into the bottom. But look how sort of chunky and thick that bottom rootstock has become. So I think many nurseries use, for the rootstocks, they deliberately grow an acer called Acum palmatum, which is a sort of species or a cultivar of acer that's really renowned. Not so much pretty trees, but pretty leaves, but very, very good strong roots. So if you look at that one in comparison, that one again, he's 2 years old. It's about the same age within weeks really, but absolutely chalk and cheese the development. And bear in mind that this particular, I think it's called Kiyohime, the actual Japanese name for it, but it's sort of sold as a little princess because it kind of sounds better. This is a dwarf, so it's a fairly slow growing plant actually. Done hugely better than this one over here. So I just thought I'd share this because you hear sort of statements about you're better off with a grafted tree. Why? Because that excellent root is absorbing moisture really well to supply the plant with enough moisture. It's absorbing nutrients. They're well renowned to be very pest resistant as well, so that can be another advantage. And again, as I said before, it's not necessarily the case that some cultivars don't do well. I think I mentioned Korean is fine to be grown. Blood goods grow well from rootstocks. But again, you know, another advantage of using a graft is that tree is exactly, the characteristics of it will be exactly the same as intended. It's got lovely small leaves, it's spread sideways, it's just becoming what a little Princess Acer New Jaime should be. Whereas this little fella over here, let alone all these other problems, it's not quite the same. So I hope that's helpful. And again, if you'd like to subscribe, but there's a live example of why grafting is such a good idea. Okay, take care.